Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
And then there was just Sean.
Surprise everybody. It's just me today.
Yes. Well, they just scattered. You know, like when the cat shows up and the mice are there, right? They just,
I don't know.
Pow! Or like if the dog shows up and there's cats don't really herd like that. But yeah, that's how that was. Yesterday, Sean, I was kind of, I don't know. The Giants. Remind me again, if I ever say over and anything and the Giants come out afterwards, just like start like spitting at me, throwing things at the screen, just say, just start hollering with, what the hell are you thinking?
Well, I was surprised because Daniel Jones was over 251.5 and Brady was over 299.5. So it was close, but I understood your logic because Tampa Bay was going to get up. So Daniel Jones should have had to throw for a lot of yards, but
hard to throw a lot of yards if you're throwing the ball 4 yards at a time.
Yeah, he's not the. I don't think he's ever going to be the answer. But did you see Jason Garrett got fired today? So
that's probably way past.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have. And when he left Dallas, they should have just let him right off into the sunset. I don't know why. You would think the Giants played against the Cowboys enough times to understand that maybe Jason Garrett's not the best offensive coordinator, right?
Yeah, that was a weird hire. I mean, you could see he was struggling with that. So, Giants got what they got.
Too conservative. I feel like, I had Kenny Galladay, and strangely, I was looking at the Twitter feeds, and they're like, this dude's getting paid like $417,000 so far on the year per target, but they threw to him on the first play, 12 yards catch. And I'm like, ooh, they're going to throw the ball to him. The very last time they threw the ball was the very next time they threw him the ball, which was a 5-yard thing out of bounds, apparently. But my Lord, you got a guy who can make contested catches and you throw it to him once, and the other guy, you throw it to him 15 times. He only catches 6 of them for 40 yards. What the hell sort of offense is that?
Yep. And then you always got Daniel Jones turning the ball over too. It's just, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how much of that's his fault or how much of that is just the play calling, or if it just seems to me, and I'm watching as I'm doing some work online for horse racing. It just seems to me, if I'm playing defense on a team and I notice, they throw the ball 20 times and 12 of those times they threw it to one dude. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bait him to throw it to that ball to that one dude again. I'm going to make it look like he's open, and I'm just going to undercut that route. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what he ain't looking at nowhere else.
Yeah.
So he's looking at Barkley. Well, first he's looking at that Tony guy, then he's looking at Barkley, and then after that, he's chucking it to the other team.
Yeah. Yeah. Finally, Brady got over the primetime losing streak he had going as far as the spread and stuff. So,
minus that interception he threw. Otherwise, they win, 20?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that interception and that one catch made me win my fantasy football game by less than a point, Sean. If he doesn't get that catch and I don't get that interception, I lose. But I should have never really been in that spot to begin with. And then last night, I have Phoenix. Phoenix is up 5 with the ball, with the shot clock, the game clock less than the shot clock. So they can run out the game. And what does Chris Paul do? Gets the ball stolen from him. And they go down and get an easy layup and cut the game to 3.
Yeah.
Then Booker gets it, 98% free throw shooter, or they're close to it. Bricks the second one, so I don't even get the push.
Yeah, I was expecting a text message last night with that game. And then I don't know if you saw, I got Colorado State covered. They were down 14 at half, and I'm giving up 8 points, and they came back to win by 10.
Well, you get lucky like that. I don't.
And then Atlanta was dominating Oklahoma City the whole game, but they ended up winning by 12, and I was giving up 11 and a half. So
yeah, you get
just
those. I don't get those.
I
am 3-0 in the Floyd Mayweather challenge, so I got 47 to go.
And it was a good thing, you really tried to talk me into Utah there, and I was surprised. Well, if you have all these points, why didn't you add them to it? Well, it's a good thing you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They cost me 2 parlays.
But I did put Utah in the over. I got the over right there.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
So I was 2-2 in the NBA. Unfortunately, Chris Paul, not my favorite player for a lot of reasons, but unfortunately, he decides to turn the ball over with 20 seconds left and give up an easy 2 to take that 5-point push. And actually, he takes a win and turns it into a loss by that, because they got a foul, you hit your free throws, and now you go up 6 or 7. So now they got to jack a 3. They missed a 3. You get the rebound. They foul you one more time. You make 1 3. Doesn't matter if they make or miss a 3 after that. They're going to dribble out the clock. So that kind of bleep makes me mad, Sean.
Yeah, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, only one way, unfortunately. So, all right. So let's get cracking tonight's sports, Sean. And we complained enough about having bad beats. They taste horrible too. I don't know. People like beets. I can't. Do you like them?
I like red beet eggs, but I don't like. It's weird. I like red beet eggs, but I don't like red beets.
Red beet eggs? What kind of weirdo are you?
You don't eat red beet eggs?
I have no idea what that is.
Really?
Where do you live in the hills?
Wow. Okay. Do you know what red beets are?
I know what red beets are. So you put red beets in the eggs?
Well, when they make the red beet eggs, they put it like around that and stuff. But I can't eat red beets itself. But red beet eggs, I love red beet eggs.
What, do they take the juice and put it around it, or they put
yeah. Well, it's like the juice and the beets. I guess they all sit together.
God.
And it's a hard-boiled egg, and then it's a red beet egg.
Hard-boiled egg and beets. Oh, great! Two wonderful things wrapped up in one.
I'll send you pictures later.
Yeah, please don't. I wasn't feeling well today early anyway. All right, so Buffalo and Ball State in college football, Sean. You have Buffalo. This game looks to me like Styles makes fights game, Sean.
Yeah, and which style are you going on this one?
Well, just looking at the matchup here a little bit, Sean, it looks like Ball State really struggles to stop the run. And Buffalo can run. That's the one thing they can do is run. So I feel like this is a game that can actually win outright, Sean, Buffalo. And I'm not gonna bet them, money line, though I'm thinking about it. But I think it's going to be very close to a game that comes down to the final possession. I know I got the road team. Buffalo's really not played that well, but again, if I see one team has a great weakness and that great weakness is the other team's great strength or only strength, I'm going to play to that, and I'm going to take Buffalo -6.5 for -110, Sean. And that number might actually go to 7 based upon what I see. -6 based upon what I'm seeing at some books.
Yeah, I was actually leaning Ball State here. Just Buffalo's defense has been horrible. The issue with Ball State and why I didn't go with Ball State is they tend to turn the ball over a lot. So I couldn't give up 6.5 with a team that's going to turn the ball over and give Buffalo a lot of shots here.
Mm-hmm. Well, like I said, I feel like the Styles make fights, and the Styles sets up for the running game to run all over that. And I'm completely wrong. Well, most of the people are taking Ball State, Sean, 2/3 of the tickets, but only a little bit less than that in terms of money, about 55 cents on the dollar. So some money is backing Buffalo here. I hope that I'm right on this one. I'm tired of these ones where I lose just at the very end, which seems to be what's happening. Northern Illinois and Western Michigan, Sean. This is one where most of the tickets, about 60% of the tickets are on Northern Illinois, but the majority of the money is on Western Michigan.
Yeah, so the problem here too with betting Northern Illinois is the motivation they really don't have. They're in the MAC championship either way, so they don't need this game. So that's an issue, and I think that's why the line kind of is the way it is. I'm going to actually go on the total here, and I'm going to do the opposite of what I usually do. I usually want to go on the over on these midweeks. I'm going to go under here. Both teams like to run the ball. Also, the low is going to be around 34 degrees with 15 to 20 mile per hour winds and gusts up to 30 miles per hour. So they're not going to really be able to throw the ball, so they're going to be running the ball a lot. So I'm going to go under 60.
You say they don't even run. They don't even try to throw the ball as it is, though, right?
No, these teams, they do, but their strength is definitely running. So with the winds, they're going to have to run even more. So I'm going to go under 60.
Well, you can go under 57, Sean, if you want plus 130. Under 60 for -110. Looks like, it's a little bit more than half of the tickets are on the over, and a little bit more than half of the money is also on the over. So not much, though. Not like a big discrepancy between the over and the under in that respect. So, all right, Sean. So the next thing on our calendar for tonight is the NBA. And then we'll go to college basketball. I don't think there's any other major sports on there today, right? That's it. Unless you want to do hockey.
No.
Only a quartet of pro basketball games tonight, Sean. You have Miami and Detroit. The Heat are they opened up at 9. It's moved to as high as 10. It's also 9.5. It's 11 some places. So that line's all over the place.
Yeah, and Miami should win, but that's too many points again. I'm not passing on the game, but I would lean Detroit plus the 10.
Yeah, I actually think I have a Miami cover in this game pretty handsomely, Sean. So I can't go that way either. So I have Miami covering. Well, I have Detroit covering the game, actually. So I'm just upside down in my thinking here a little bit. But as far as the total is concerned, I have this game going over. I just don't trust the Detroit side of that equation.
Yeah, rightfully understood.
Yeah. I mean, they can score sometimes, but one of their players got suspended for the on-court argument with the great LeBron James. Did you see that video?
Yes, I did, and it's ridiculous that James got suspended 1 game and Stewart got suspended 2 games.
What do you feel like they both should be suspended 2 games? Or
probably. I mean, James started the whole thing. He threw a clear elbow. I mean,
and then he ran.
Yeah, I mean, I get the person going back always gets caught, always gets more, but you can see in the video,
yeah,
James.
I think it was when he broke away from the little trainer girl. I don't know if it's about 5'2", 5'3", probably weighs a buck, and she's trying to hold him back. It's really kind of funny.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know why you would even try. I mean, step off to the. I'm not making light of anything. I'm just making light of the size difference. He's twice the size of her. There's really not a whole lot that she's going to be able to do physically to hold him back.
Yeah, I think they should have both got the same punishment. So they should have both got 2.
I think they should just boot LeBron out of the league. He gets too many breaks as it is anyway. All right. So as far as the money is concerned in that game, Sean, 2/3 of the tickets are on the Heat, but 2/3 of the money is on the Pistons. So big money backing the Pistons. And this is a weird case because I like the over in here too. And about a little more than 60% of the tickets are on the over, and more than 2/3 of the money is on the over, which is kind of different for the way we've seen basketball break out. The Lakers and the Knicks, Sean. The Lakers visit without LeBron for only 1 game. Go to Madison Square Garden, and the Knicks, that line is at 6.5 for the New York squad. And it's gone down and it's gone up. It's been all over the place.
Yeah, LeBron's out. Anthony Davis is questionable. I don't know if there's any latest news. I still see questionable. They got a couple other players that might not play. I'm going to leave the spread go just because the Knicks are so inconsistent offensively. But I am going to go on the total here. I'm going to go under. Knicks.
So 214.
Yeah, Knicks have a hard time scoring anyway. The Lakers, who knows who's going to play. They have problems sometimes offensively, so I feel like this total's too high.
Well, it looks like a lot of people agree with you, Sean, because about 1/3 of the tickets are on the over, and about 2/3 of the tickets are on the under, and a little more than 2/3 of the money is also on the under. This is a game I stayed away from. You mentioned some of the uncertainty in terms of personnel, that sort of thing. So as far as what I have the game coming out to be, I have the game going slightly. I have the game actually going over by like 2 points, but not that often. And I have the Knicks covering about maybe about 55% of the time. So not enough for me to take an action there. So next game up is Denver and Portland, Sean. The Denver Nuggets head up to Rip City, where they're getting 6.5 points. Jokic might not play. I'm thinking tennis, huh? Jokic might not play tonight. I don't know. Does that matter, you think?
Yeah, it definitely matters. The problem is I'm going to make a comparison here. The Portland Trailblazers are like the LA Chargers in the NFL. It doesn't matter who they really play. They're not going to blow anybody out. They have all this talent, and they're not going to blow anybody out. So I have a hard time giving up 6.5 points. So I'm just going to stay away. But
much like the Chargers, they let up a lot of points.
Yes, they do that too. You can't give up 6.5 with them. They'll make everything interesting. Or they'll get off to, how many times do they get off to bad starts and they're down 10-13 and they come storming back in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, and they come back, yeah, for sure. Well, the total on this game is 214.5. 214, Sean. I can get 214 for -109. I'm going to take the over in this game, Sean. They just played a couple of weeks back, and Denver put up 125 on them. I don't know that they put 125 up on them again, but if they could put 115 on them, do you feel like Portland could score 100?
No, absolutely.
Yeah, so
Or
I
you
feel
mean
like,
Denver? Denver can score 100. Yeah,
well, either one,
yeah.
right?
And the thing is
Well,
too.
last time they played, Denver scored 124. So
Oh,
if they
okay.
can put up 115, I feel like Portland can get to 100 at home.
Yeah, and the thing is with Jokic being out too, they'll actually play a little faster without Jokic. So,
and it looks like I'm a nut job here, Sean, because most of the tickets are on the Trailblazers. 3/4 of the tickets are on the Blazers, a little more than 75 cents on the dollar. So you got big money, big tickets back in the Blazers. But as far as the total is concerned, I'm on that square sucker play because 75% of the tickets are on the over, but 75% of the money is on the under, Sean. So I'm definitely in the wrong place here. Next game is the Dallas Mavericks. Maybe Doncic comes back tonight. Clippers don't really have, other than Bantam, any major injuries to report. So the Clippers at home are a 3.5-point favorite. Sean, is that enough?
that's enough for me to take the Clippers and give up the 3.5. They just played Sunday. Clippers won by 6. I just
What
think
does
the
that
Clippers. Well, I think the Clippers match up well with a team like Dallas. They're kind of similar.
Well, this is another one of those things where style make fight, Sean. The Dallas team is not. They used to be really efficient on offense. This year, they're not. This year, they're actually one of the worst offenses so far in the NBA to start the season. And surprisingly, the Clippers are one of the better defensive teams to start the season. So that's one of those styles makes fights. You have a good defense against a pretty kind of run-of-the-mill offense right now. And then on the other side, it's a pretty even matchup between the Clippers offense and the Dallas defense. So Clippers should be able to score more than Dallas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm giving up what, 3.5?
3.5. Yes. So you can get that for minus 109. No, minus 110. I'm sorry. You can get 3.5 minus 109 if you took Dallas. I'm with you on this one, Sean, and so is the majority of the tickets. 2/3 of the tickets are backing the Clippers, but Sean, almost 100% of the money. So I mean, just big money on the Clippers tonight. As far as the total is concerned, Sean, it's 210, I think, somewhere around there. And I have the game going under. I was thinking about double dipping here. 2/3 of the tickets are on the under, and more than 80 cents on the dollar is on the under. So maybe I won't double dip. I don't do that, but it's something I would definitely think about.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the fact that they played Sunday and both teams didn't even reach 100 is a good sign too. But then a lot of times you see that and the next game is completely opposite. So who knows?
All right, that wraps up the NBA. So let's talk a little bit about college basketball. Do you like anything right there?
Yeah, so I like Providence giving up 1.5 to Virginia.
Uh-huh.
It's in Providence. Providence is just a lot better of an offensive team. Virginia still, they play solid defense. They just have problems scoring. I just think Providence is gonna win here, score more points. Obviously,
I think it's going to be a close game because I measure it two ways, and in those two ways, Providence covers in one and Virginia covers in the other. So 50-50 for sure, Sean.
And then my other one, I think this is too many points. UCLA number 1 and number 2 late tonight. Gonzaga, UCLA. UCLA getting 7 points. I will take the points here. I don't think there's that big of a difference with these two teams.
Who's home?
I don't know. I mean, it lists UCLA, but I think it's a neutral site game. Yeah.
All right. So how many points does UCLA get in 7?
7.
Gonzaga. Hold on a second here, Sean. Let's see what the Magic Excel says. 7. It says that, in one way, UCLA covers, and the other way, Gonzaga covers. But it says it's going to be a close game either way. So, we'll see. I agree with you. A lot of times Gonzaga in these bigger games, but early in the season though, they tend to blow people out, and then once they get into the college, tournament, they don't seem to have that same sort of smash ability. Anything else that you like in college hoops?
No, that's all I have.
I'm going to go against my judgment here. I looked at the numbers. It doesn't really work out as well, but I'm going to take Nevada. I'm going to lay the 3.5 against George Mason, Sean. They're covering no matter which way I look at this game. And then I'm going to take Arkansas against Cincinnati. This should be a close game too, but I feel like you look at Arkansas's offense is a little bit more efficient than Cincinnati's offense, and their defense is a little bit more efficient than the Cincinnati defense. So I got a little better offense, I got a little better defense, and I'm going to lay 5. So hopefully that works out to be a 6-point differential. I have them winning by about anywhere from 7 to about 10 points. So those are the 2 college games for me.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at Kansas State getting like 10 against Illinois. Illinois just got blown out by Cincinnati by 20. I think Illinois may be a little overrated. So they're still giving up a lot of points.
I can tell you the state's certainly overrated.
So
I don't know about the college basketball team, but yeah.
I was looking at it. I let that go. Kansas State ain't all that great neither, and I just didn't want to overreact to last night's game, which I tend to do.
Yes, well, it can happen. It's to the best of us. So, all right, just recap your pick, Sean. Who do you like tonight?
All right, so I got the Clippers giving up 3.5 to Dallas, under 214 in the Lakers-Knicks, under 60 in the football game, Western Michigan and Northern Illinois.
Northern Illinois, yeah.
UCLA +7 against Gonzaga, and Providence giving up 1.5 to Virginia.
And I'm going with Buffalo getting 6.5 points. And then in the NBA, I'm taking the Clippers, like Sean, laying 3.5, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also taking the I forget the other one that I'm taking.
Denver, Portland over 214.
Oh, yes, I'm taking the Denver, Portland over 214. And then in college hoops, I'm taking Nevada. Mm-hmm. And I am also taking Arkansas. So I got 5 picks. How many you got?
I got 5 as well.
Oh, look out. I should take one off. Anyway, any final thoughts before we get up and out of here, Sean?
No, not much today.
No, just some news. I mean, if you're backers of the Saints and you got their running backs, you better think about picking somebody else up. It looks to me like, the Michael Carter from the Jets is out. So a lot of people, Tevin Coleman got, 7 carries to Ty Johnson's 1 when he went out. So if you're looking for a waiver wire there, you might think about Coleman. And then you have the kid Jones in New Orleans. But Buffalo did have a good run defense until last week. I don't know what happened last week. But I don't know that the New Orleans run offense is as good as the Indianapolis run offense. Yeah,
I mean, a lot of injuries for Thanksgiving could be. I mean, I don't know if Fields is going to play.
No, they said he's out already. They already said that
out. So
going to be the starting quarterback. I don't know about Amari Cooper either or CeeDee Lamb. They're both. Amari had a bad leg. CeeDee Lamb got hit in the head. So the Cowboys wide receivers are tough to tell what's going on there. On running back, you might be a little bit off the radar that I think you might want to think about picking up because waiver wires are tonight for most leagues, Sean, is I think that Buffalo looks a lot more explosive with Matt Breida than they do with either Singletary or Zach Moss. And sometimes it's just a fit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that Buffalo's offense is a smash offense, which is the way that Zach Moss tries to run. And Singletary, I don't think brings enough between the tackles or is explosive enough. And Matt Breida has shown in the past with the Dolphins and with the 49ers that he can be explosive, can make big plays. And I feel like they're a fast team. Buffalo. And they want to go fast, and I feel like Breida fits that. So
the crazy thing with Breida is like every team he's with, he seems to do good and puts up good numbers, and then he finds another team and he just disappears, and then he comes back and shows signs again. So I don't know what he's not doing that teams don't want to keep him, but to the viewer, I mean, he looks good every time he's on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems that, sometimes it's fit, right? I think the Miami, they wanted to be a little bit more of a power football team, possession, that kind of thing, small dump down passes with Tua. I think that's kind of what they wanted to do. San Francisco, I think they felt like they had enough depth with you got. I mean, and they've proven to be true, right? They got Eli Mitchell, who's out of nowhere. They got this guy James, who's done pretty well. They had Raheem Mostert, so they're running games, so they didn't have to pay a lot of money. Breida got paid to go to Miami, so I just feel like it's one of those things where you have to have, I think, up-tempo offense he'll fit really well on, and that's what Buffalo brings to the table. So maybe a little bit of a dark shot there in terms of a player that might help you out. If your season goes into the end of the year, maybe the last week of the season, a lot of people drop Derrick Henry. I read he might be back for the last week, maybe the last 2 weeks, but for sure he'll be back for the playoffs. So if you're doing like a playoff league, most folks might back off of Derrick Henry, but maybe you pick him up, store him on your bench, and hope that he comes back for this, for the fantasy football championships.
Yeah. You gotta do stuff like you gotta get an edge somewhere.
Well, you got to take chances, right?
Yep.
You got to start Kenny Galladay, baby, on Monday night.
Yeah, you got to figure out where the story's going to be before it's there because, it'll be too late. So,
yeah, I mean, once the guy has a big game, then you're screwed.
Yes.
Because then the people in front of you in the waiver wire want to go get him.
Or as soon as it's announced Derrick Henry is coming back for sure, he's going to be off the table and somebody else is going to pick him up. So you're just going to have to.
Just like that.
Yep.
All right, Sean. Well, that wraps up today, folks. We hope that you like the show. If you do, please follow us on Facebook at Moneyline Madmen. Follow us on Twitter, also at Moneyline Madmen. You can subscribe right here on the YouTube channel. We'd appreciate that. Thumbs up. Give us the right ratio so we move up the algorithms. Hopefully our picks tonight stuff your pockets full of cash, Sean. And if folks want to follow us on the line, where do they go?
Facebook and Twitter, Moneyline Madmen.
MoneylineMadman.com is what I was trying to get to you at.
Well, that too. Register for free. You can view all our picks, and you can put whatever picks you want to make on there as well, or any kind of conversation.
We'll be adding more content coming shortly. We're just working on some other side project that I got to get squared away before I can go ahead and start putting other things up on there, more data, more picks, more stuff like that. So, all right, Sean. Until we get back tomorrow in 23-3, as always, folks. We hope that every single one of your picks tonight is an absolute winner. We'll see you tomorrow.